For about 3 months, the National Convention of the ruling party, APC, where a new set of party executives would be elected, was the major topic of discussion within and well beyond the confines of the party. The discussion became a lot more exciting when the new Electoral Act 2022 was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, all that is in the past now, as the party, adopting a consensus candidate option, held a successful national convention in the outgone week. While the governing party basked in the excitement of its successful convention, the nation, and indeed all players in the party governance system, have a lot to benefit by taking another deep look at the convention, from the build-up to the success story. On Panorama this Tuesday, the fallout and lessons that party governance in Nigeria can garner from the just concluded APC National Convention shall be our focus. Don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. I am Hingino John Adams. Thanks for being there. Security agencies have reported to the Kaduna state government that the military has secured the Kaduna-bound train from Abuja trapped by terrorists. The Kaduna state government received multiple reports of an attack on the Abuja-Kaduna train service at around Kateri, Rijana general areas. A statement by Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Kaduna State, Samuel Aruwan, indicates that relevant agencies were urgently contacted and robust deployment of personnel were swiftly made to the area to secure the passengers on board. Efforts are ongoing to convey the passengers from the location, and others that sustained injuries have been rushed to the hospitals for urgent medical attention. The government of Kaduna State will be liaising with the Nigerian Railway Corporation to ascertain the list from the passengers' manifest for efficient tracking. This is to acquire an accurate inventory of all passengers and their actual status. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who has been in constant touch with the security forces, commended them for their prompt response for successfully securing the train and passengers on board. Emerging developments will be communicated to the public. Similarly, the Nigerian Railway Corporation confirms an attack on the Abuja to Kaduna train AK9 along Rigana-Dutse axis around 8 o'clock this evening. Speaking on the phone with correspondent Oyinaya Kaluoka, the managing director, NRC Fidet Okiria, says security personnel have secured the area and the passengers will soon be moved to safety. Let's now join Tessie in Abuja for the latest on the train attack in Kaduna. Tessie?
Hello, Hengino. Thank you. And welcome to the Network Studios here in Abuja. And taking a cue from Hengino, we continue to give you updates from Rijana train station in Kaduna, and being joined by Haruna Mohammed. Hello, Haruna.
Hello, Tessie.
Haruna, glad to have you join us on Panorama. Can you tell us what's the situation like right now?
Okay, we are currently at Rijana train station at about 126 kilometers away from Idu train station, Abuja. And the scene of the incident is about 10 kilometers away from here on your way to Kaduna.
Haruna, can you tell us, has any casualty been reported? Any casualty reported as
Yes,
at,
at the
now?
moment here, we
Yeah.
have the head of communications from the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Yakub Mahmoud, who wants to give us the information of what really transpired there.
Okay, go ahead, Haruna.
Okay, Mr. Mahmoud, please, can you tell us what really transpired there at the scene?
It was very, very unfortunate that our train was dastardly attacked yesterday by unscrupulous elements, which led to the derailment of the train. And I'm here on ground with the NTA crew, expecting the Honorable Minister of Transportation, the Chairman NRC Board, the Managing Director of the General Corporation, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Transportation, and top government officials are on their way now to decide to assess the extent of the damage done to the train.
As at the moment now, is there any casualty?
I cannot confirm that for now, but until we get to the site. However, we are expecting the arrival of the minister, who will give a comprehensive and a detailed press briefing after the inspection.
That is all he has to say for us from here at Regina. Although the Chief of Army Staff was live at the scene.
Okay, so Haruna, from
Yes, security agents were there before. The Chief of Army Staff was there to have first-hand information of the incidents that happened. Although the NTA camera was not allowed at the scene. That is what happened so far.
Okay, even though we are yet to get a number of people alleged to have been kidnapped, as we have heard from the official there, Haruna, can you tell us the general situation? Is it calm? Has normalcy returned to Regina?
Yes, as it is, the train service have been suspended, and Regina train station is deserted. Nobody is here. But while we were there, I was there myself with the Chief of Army Staff. The security operatives have surrounded the area and looking at the information and getting information of what really happened and how they can cope this occurrence of such dastardly act.
All right, thank you, Haruna, for that update. We hope to get more updates from you as the event unfolds at Regina. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Meanwhile, earlier on our program, Good Morning Nigeria, we had an interview with one of us, Muhammad Ali, who was on board the same train. This is an excerpt from the interview.
But Muhammad Ali, I mean, if you recall, round about what time did the explosion occur? And what do you know at this time, or even at that time, about the fate of the train driver?
Actually, I never knew it was bandits that were attacking. I thought it was because normally I follow this train regularly. Sometimes if you follow this night train, you will see that the people put on stones on the road. So if it comes, the train comes, it crushes those stones, and you feel the vibration. But it's normal. But that of yesterday was serious. It was a serious shake. And the shaking was so vigorous, everything was falling off. Even people on their feet, because it was shaking up and down and sideways simultaneously, and vigorously and seriously. And I knew the time that the train derailed because I had the velocity of the train and the weight that it came down. And you know, because of those sleepers, the train now is moving on those sleepers. So we are jacking, and then it comes to a violent stop. So I thought it was just something that happened, and the train derailed. And suddenly there was gunshots, sporadic, non-stop. And so I knew that then it was not the normal thing that we experience on that train whenever we pass.
Mohammed, just the last question from me. I'm sure you've not had any military training apart from the one you and I did in Borno at the work from. But we're glad that you were by no, I mean, you didn't come to any harm. But from what you described to us, it would appear that this was a somewhat well-planned attack.
Exactly. Exactly. While we were on the train waiting after the military came, somebody came in. He was with bruises on his shoulder and he was shirtless, and he tied his hand because it was bloody. He told us that he was among those that we are carried away by that he was able to jump out of the car, out of a bus, and then he ran back to the train. And we can see the bruiser. He told us that he saw 4 buses and then 3 Sharon, 7 vehicles that he parked close by, and they put all those people. And he also told us that among the people that they took along with him, they have shot about 2 others because the people refused to cover a lady that was shot dead. So, and while he was running, he came there, he removed his shirt to cover her up, and then he ran back to the train.
Indeed, a gory experience there. One can just imagine. Well, we hope for better days. We now hand you over to Hengino Adams, Lagos Network Center, for the continuation of Panorama. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Tessie. We hope to get more updates as events unfold. Moving on now, 4 people escaped death late Monday evening after a container fell off its truck and crushed 2 vehicles with passengers along Dapson bus stop in Igondo area of Lagos State. 2 of the 4 victims escaped, while 2 others were rescued by emergency responders. Southwest Zonal Public Relations Officer of NEMA, Ibrahim Fariloye, told NTA News that the rescued victims sustained various degrees of injuries and are now receiving medical attention at an undisclosed hospital. He said the accident later resulted into a fire which has now been contained from spreading to adjoining buildings. Meanwhile, a tanker bearing 45,000 liters of petrol has fallen and discharged its content in a Kaduna area of Lagos State early Tuesday morning. The driver escaped with the truck head immediately the accident occurred. Emergency responders have arrived at the scene with an appeal on residents of the area to avoid any act that can ignite a fire within and around the accident scene. As at the time of filing this report, operatives of Lagos State Emergency Management Agency are working ahead of the arrival of heavy-duty equipment for the recovery of the fallen tanker. Now to politics. The choice of former Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Adamu as the new national chairman of the APC through a consensus arrangement has again shown the ability of the governing APC to organize successful conventions, one platform for deepening internal democracy in Nigeria. Governance in the country. In this report, Adeni Taiwo delved into the history of the APC and its national conventions.
Intense political maneuvering registered as a political party in the country. It left little doubt about its desire to drop the garb of an opposition party for that of a ruling party. This ambition, a tall order at the time, was dependent on many factors, including how well organized the party could be.
74, 75.
June 2014 provided Nigerians with a glimpse of the party's first national convention, and since then, there was no stopping the party.
We owe it to Nigerians who gave us their mandate to ensure that this party does not go to smithereens after the exit of our principal.
In the build-up to its last convention, which was held on March 26, 2022 at the Eagle Square, it was almost a case of to be or not to be following a high-octane politicking interspersed with conflicting court judgment.
We should learn how to resolve our differences without jeopardizing our personal relationships.
The intervention of President Muhammadu Buhari at a critical time in the history of the party provided the needed direction, which saw Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu as the new national chairman via a consensus arrangement along with other executives. For members of the party, all is well that ends well.
I'm so excited. Nobody's going to court. Nobody is saying that I'm aggrieved or whatever. And that tells you it also contributed to the success of the convention because at the end of the day, everybody is happy. And then it's a bigger and stronger party.
But beyond clearing any misgivings about party politics and governance in Nigeria, what are the lessons from the APC 2022 National Convention?
Political party need to understand it. It's important to put the country first in whatever you do. So that allow for compromise. It allow people to then say that, oh, I disagree, but then I allow superior argument in the interest of the party. The biggest lesson is to be sure that everything done is done in the interest of the party.
The party's national convention provides a major platform to test the unity of the party. In Lagos, Adini Itaiwo, NTA News.
Joining me to talk more on that is Larry Emenike, a political analyst. Thanks for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right, can you give us your reading of the just concluded APC National Convention?
I think it's a welcome development, going by some of the things that happened even before this particular convention. Since the exit of Adams Oshomole and what transpired then, the rancor within the party and so many other disagreements and agitations, one would have expected that a lot of things would have happened in this convention. And even before this particular convention again, so many concerns were raised. You have to put into, consideration the fact that this is the ruling party. And the way during the merger and what happened, it was a merger between different political parties and so many other things. And then later something happened, and they are there. So one would have expected that being the first serious convention before the exit of the current regime of the president Muhammadu Buhari, one would have expected that much will happen. And the concerns there were all there for us to see. But we thank God that at the end, they have a way. Even the Senate president mooted that particular idea of having a unity list, which we were following. And at the end, I think that was what hold this way. At the end, the unity list issue came to play. The disagreements were sorted out according to the statement of Kogi State Governor that every concerns have been, addressed, and they will not have that issue. So one hope that going from here, moving forward, that we are looking up to a sound arrangement that will bring about, more robust, activities within the APC that also trickle down to the affairs of the nation.
So for you, what are the highs and the lows?
The highs were there. Automatically, it shows that a political party that believes in the leadership, because we all know that Adamu Abdullahi remains the candidate of the president even before the convention. So when he came up there, people believe that since the president, who is the leader of the political party, the APC, he has spoken, and he has also made them to work together as a party so that some of all those concerns will not have its way, against or work against the political party, the APC. So I think that his leadership worked for them. It worked for the party, and going from there, I'm hoping that it will continue like that, because my own concern is about the people. Because if you have a disagreement within the ruling political party, automatically adversely is going to affect the general, perception of the convention, and also, the leadership. There might be a leadership crisis after that.
So talking about the lows.
The lows is that one we expected, because it has always been the the norm, between political party to have a consensus candidate. And we expected that if you say you're a political party and we are running a democracy, Nigerians expected that by now, the political parties would have adapted that particular policy of having a democratic, election taking place, even within their inner circle of the party machinery, the conventions and so many other primaries and all the rest. So we expected that there would have been a paradigm shift, regarding that particular norm of having a consensus candidate coming from the party. So I think rather I was a little bit disappointed, but then that is politics in Nigeria.
Okay, most times you hear political parties using this term, it's a family affair. And we saw that during the APC convention, where there was a lot of horse trading, consultations, and they came out with a consensus list. So is that a good sign for our democracy, particularly as we look into 2023?
I think for me, it's neither here nor there. We had it and it's already there. And, even after every election or every convention like this, we'll still see some certain things, happen after that. So we are still expecting that the party will have that particular, the leadership, I mean the president, with what we've seen, during this convention, will have that hold, to make sure that some of all those things we don't expect to come or that will rise up after every convention, every election, every primaries, that it will not raise its ugly head. So I'm expecting that they has to take it from there, especially the leadership. And it shouldn't be a winner takes it all. There was this incident that happened, because I need to point that during the woman leader something, the delegates from Cross River State raised on certain, their chairman or something made, the resolution of the party and the adoption of the substantive woman leader. Some of their people reacted in the podium there. So I hope that they will sort some of those things out so that it doesn't affect the interests of that political party during the elections, because this is when you always see you having a factions and factions and factions, and it's going to affect their chances.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emineke, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
You're watching Panorama on the network service of the NTA. Let's take a short break. More news when we return, but don't forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates.
Coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real.
I'm back. The daily update in cases of COVID-19 by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control as at the 26th and 28th of March 2022 shows that there are 45 new cases from 6 states of the Federation, including the FCT, bringing the number of confirmed cases to 255,341. Breakdown shows that Lagos has the highest figure with 27 cases, followed by FCT with 10 cases, Rivers 3, Bauchi and Kaduna 2 each, while Kano recorded 1 case. So far, there are a total of 249,566 discharged cases, while 3,142 deaths have been recorded across the country. Next is sports update. I'm afraid that report is not ready, but that's the end of Panorama today. But before we go, remember that the fastest and easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. Thanks for watching. I'm Hingino John Adams.